Nova Online, a lolcow known for embarrassing himself on the internet and forever growing PDF file allegations considering his tendency to interact with a very young demographic. Despite his own antics, what we have to talk about here today will give Nova the confidence to become that much more dangerous, and that is a plain parasocial worship of the friendly neighborhood chome.
Oh no, not the server!
Dear Nova, I truly wish I could give you my set of eyes and put them into yours so you could see how much of a cool, wonderful person you are.
That leads us to the main, extremely concerning problem relating to Nova today, and that would be Alice, the crazed Nova fan. Alice would make a post, and I, and then Solidus Nova, would come across with only 1,000 or so views. Aside from the jarring nature of the post, not much thought on my end would be put into it, until, of course, Alice began to garner some more attention on TikTok.
I watch your content every day in pure bliss and joy because of how much I love watching you. Anything you do, I'll take content to it because of how much of an amazing person you are to me.
Now, aside from how absolutely crazy it is to see this, we see first glazing his polarizing and innovative content, something of course the vast majority would agree is glaze undeserved, then reiterating over and over that he's just this amazing person she looks up to and can't wait to watch more and more content about. Just all around an absolutely insane post to make, considering the nature of Nova's past and the very evident fact he's an awful person. Obviously, aside from the fact he's incredibly undeserving of having a stan like this, the real concern here is the effect this might have on Nova's view of himself and his presence online. Now, if you're someone with any sort of capacity for critical thinking, you'd at first think, wow, this is clearly satire and pretty corny at that. Unfortunately though, when it comes to the chome, someone who clearly lacks the ability to think critically will come across this and move forward believing he's now so famous and great that he is a crazed fan or crazed fans who are absolutely infatuated with him. Something not only false, but very damaging to allow him to believe he's got so much support. Now, Nova, and the type of fella he is, has numerous documented attempts of seeking not so appropriate attention from those who are younger. Very clearly someone extremely predatory in nature, so him coming across a supporter such as Alice, who has a voice that leads you to believe she may be on the younger side, is extremely concerning. Given the idea, Nova might feel so inclined to reach out and thank them for the support, and with a naive kid like Alice believing she's just trolling him, she'd most likely continue to respond, opening all sorts of doors for Nova to get his sick hands on her. You'll see reading some of these comments, many people share that same sentiment. One user saying, "Girl, depending on your age, he loves you too." Another saying, "He genuinely might stalk you if he finds this." Yet another saying, "He'll notice you if your age is on a clock."
I decided to go all the way.
Now, going into this, my first assumption was this was some awful buddy trolling attempt, but as the videos go on, and then you discover their Nova Defense Discord, and you hear the anger and frustration in her voice in this clip, it really makes you begin to wonder her true intentions behind it all.
Hello everyone. This is gonna be kind of a serious post. First of all, reposting Nova's content to make fun of him is not okay. He has the right to put watermarks in his video to fight against you guys. Secondly, this should be obvious. It is not okay to make fun of him.
First, defending the chome, claiming all these channels, such as mine, posting about the booger, only made fun of him and we have no right, as if this fella is just living life and he's been cyberbullied without reason, glossing over the multiple different occasions of him engaging in predatory behavior. This defense is always crazy because while some of us do make some wild comments about the little fella, it's not entirely unwarranted considering the harm he could have and clearly planned on doing to some younger demographic. But the guy also clearly fans the flame himself.
It is not okay to stalk him in real life and show up at his house. And you people try to justify this by saying it's his fault, which even if it was all true, this does not give you the right to stalk people and show up at their house. And there's about 20 commentary channels where all they do is just make videos making fun of Nova and making thousands of dollars off of it. This is sick.
This is sick, and do we not feel wrong for this? Crazy work if you just take a little step back and look at the full picture. Undoctored screenshots and all. I'm sure I speak for the crowd when I say no one feels bad for someone endangering or harming kids, whether that's mentally or physically, online or in person. And Nova's the kind of creature that does that sort of thing. So no, you can't really feel bad for the guy.
How do you not feel wrong for this? Don't you guys have anything else you can do with your lives instead of watching someone for 8 hours a day and hoping on their downfall?
I'm sure I could spend my time a little more wisely, and it has to be corrupting my brain in some fashion, keeping up with the things these kinds of people get up to. But I have plenty of downtime at work in the gym, and until these goobers all get off the internet, I'll keep on grubbing. All jokes aside though, this whole situation with the Crazed fan is just bound to go wrong if it goes any further than it already has.
Can I get a fried chicken soup, please?
Now, as I'm recording this video, we have made an amendment here to the script. One humble subscriber of mine would conduct a brief interview, or it would seem had more of an argument with one of the co-owners of the Nova Defense Discord this Alice account would be a part of. To cut to the chase of it all, these guys are 100% serious. They believe Nova is an innocent party in all this. Let's get into the interview. First, this Grubbas says, mentally ill or not, have you not seen the screenshots very clearly of him flirting and preying on people underage? You do know mental illness isn't a free pass to get away with harming kids, right? To which they responded, and this justifies people to make thousands of dollars off attacking him. This justifies people going banging on his door. First of all, this was also the only valid point this Alice girl could make in the earlier video. I still stand by the fact it's never okay to go out of your way to harass these types of individuals in real life. It is, however, terrible to continue on this quest to defend someone with documentation of consistent predatory behavior. The viewer would counter this point very hard in the next screenshot. Defender would say, really, if I went to your house with 20 people and I started banging on your door, would that be okay? Which the Grubba would respond, no. However, I didn't have a podcast over the age of 18 and try to get with my 15-year-old co-host, which they responded, you guys in your mind make it okay to attack him because of things in his past. It's okay to make thousands of dollars off of making fun of people. Of course, this conversation circles back around how this is supposedly just a huge ploy to just make some money off of making fun of or making videos on Nova, which when you have all these allegations with mounting evidence surrounding you, it's not the best look to try and make this weak point. This, however, wouldn't be their only conspiracy theory though, as they would not only claim all these anti-PDF files to be PDF files themselves, but they would even allude to much greater conspiracies about very large groups of people. This Alice character and all their peers need to take a good step back, use some critical thinking skills while looking at the big picture of it all, and delete the support server and account.
Here's some proof that I actually was in the shower.
Believing that interview to be real or not doesn't matter, because satire or not, that's not the point of it all here. The consequences of an account and server like this, both existing and gaining traction, are huge. When you have someone like Nova being found time and time again being a creep online, it's huge for them to find themselves with any support at all. In a perfect world, much like how it seems the creeping lemur has done, would quit the internet in its entirety, maybe finally get that job all his controversy on the internet has apparently made it hard to do, and get some help tackling that creepy age regression and younger fella obsession with some mental health professionals. But that perfect world will never happen if Nova finds himself with any little speck of motivation to continue his escapades on the internet. The thing that can really throw the coal into the engines of something like his passion for the content creation is the very few who either just came across Nova not understanding the hate and telling him his weight loss journey is going great or something, but especially this freaky Crazed fan account that would lead Nova to believe he's this big shot on TikTok who has BTS level obsessed fans coming out of the woodwork. Especially coupled with the fact that this fan is a girl, it's essentially just carving a path for Nova to start flirting away with this crazy new account and saying things that are going to get him into even more trouble. What I'm saying in all this is that this Alice Girls account needs to disappear before even more fuel can be poured on the flame that is Nova's passion for content creation, because the chome doesn't need and doesn't deserve this undying support. Doom and gloom aside, in other Nova news this year, Nova has stuck to his same old regimen of reviewing junk food, giving us a little weigh-in and dumping older drafts onto us because he just needs to post constant. Junk food reviewing is kind of crazy considering the guy is supposed to be giving us a weight loss journey update in a little over a month from now, but he's just buying more and more junk or fast food. I mean, if it interests you at all, in the first 7 days of 2026, Nova's already scarfed down on camera, or implied it would be scarfed down later, 2,980 calories, give or take. That's 2,980 calories of essentially nutritionless food. If you put up with me this long, I'd like to thank any grubs who could make it all the way through the video. If you fellas liked what you saw here, consider giving me a like, some hype maybe, perchance even subscribe. And if you really mess with the video or the rest of the channel, we do have these wondrous emotes available for anyone who wants to join our members here. I'd like to add the perk to do some members only videos if any of you want some exclusive Grubba shit as well, but thanks again guys, later Grubbas.